mini-series 60 Days In is back for season number 9. In the show, 7 participants go undercover to identify issues and create positive change. This time we're going to the Utah County Jail. Sheriff Mike Smith here to give us a preview. Thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the issues that you are seeing in the Utah County Jail.
Yeah, so the issues that we're seeing is a lot like other jails. We're not very different that way. We have gang problems, we have drug problems, we have all sorts of human interaction problems. And so with 60 Days In this season, we focused on those things. We focused on, if drugs are in our facility, we know they get in our facility. How do we put more measures in place? What do we need to do to tighten down on that? And what other aspects of the jail can we improve? Programming was another one we looked at. How can we help these inmates more than we're helping them? What type of programming could we bring in on top of what we're already doing?
Men and women are both, we get to see a little bit of aspects of both parts of those jails. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So both males and females went in, and I think you'll see in the season that there is a difference. There's definitely a difference in the vibe that goes on in the pods between the male and female pods. It's interesting to watch that. I think you'll see that the female pods are not as maybe if you have a thought process that they're a little calmer in there and more easygoing. That is not the case.
You've also been in law enforcement, and this is your community. This is Utah is where you're from. You've been in this business for 30 years. How have you seen the community kind of change in those 3 decades?
Yeah, we've changed a lot. Utah County is probably one of the fastest growing counties in the nation. So, in 30 years, the population growth has just went through the roof. And with that, unfortunately, the crime rate grows. As you get more people, you get more crime. Utah County used to be a place where if there was a murder 30 years ago when I started, if there was a murder in Utah County, it was like unheard of. And now, unfortunately, it's not that unheard of. They happen, and there's not the shock value there used to be, and there should be. So we've unfortunately seen that growth, that change.
And there, talk a little bit about the 7 participants, how they got chosen, and a little bit about them.
So they go through the 7 participants go through a background check. They go through a processing with the production company, and then they bring to us a video interviews of their finalists, and we sit down and we look at all of those and we make a decision on who's going to actually go in. And we're looking for different perspectives, different walks of life, people that maybe have been in jail or prison before, people that haven't, because to me it's important to get the different perspectives they each have from their backgrounds, because that absolutely influences what they're going to perceive inside the jail.
Let's talk a little bit about being part of the show. Was there a particular moment or a particular situation that you said something needs to be investigated? We need to figure out how we can make this experience better, not just for the inmates that are coming out and that are there, but also the staff as well too. I mean, was there a particular moment or experience that kind of was a catalyst for this?
Yeah, so since I've been sheriff, we've done multiple audits. I've allowed multiple audits to be done, but they've been all high level. Like, we're going to come in, we're going to look at your staffing, we're going to look at your budget, we're going to 60 Days In is probably the most in-depth audit that I've ever been a part of. It's something that I couldn't afford to do. I didn't have the funding to do it or the resource to do it. So to have 60 Days In come in and do it was big, and I'll tell you, they approached us for a couple of years and we told them no, because, do you want your dirty laundry aired across the nation? But in the end, when I thought about it, I'm like, no, you know what? I want to be progressive. I want to always be trying to improve things. I want to be transparent. And if something comes out of this season that, our dirty laundry is aired, I'm going to own it. We're going to change it, and we're going to be a better facility because of it. And so that's the attitude that I had and my team had going into this. And I think it was worth doing.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the other neighboring counties and maybe sheriffs and people who run the jails in other states who have come to you to say, like, hey, thank you for being a part of this program, or we watch other seasons as well too, and maybe some of the information or tips that they've gotten from that they're looking forward to to getting from this season.
Yeah, I think that's a great point because there's a lot to be learned, and it's always a little easier to learn it on someone else's behalf, right? To be able to watch the season and say, you know what, I've seen that happen in my facility. We're going to change that, and you get to make positive changes without going through the pain of having, it aired on national TV. But so I think other sheriffs can absolutely learn through watching this series and see things maybe that they identify in their facility that they can change.
Awesome. Well, Sheriff Smith, thank you so much for your time today. 60 Days In returns for season number 9, May 30th on A&E.